The birthday card was addressed to Mom in my daughter's handwriting, but it wasn't for me. I found it in the trash outside her apartment building, half buried under coffee grounds, while I was throwing away the casserole dish I'd brought her. The envelope was torn open, and inside was a Hallmark card with pink roses that read, "To the world's best mother." My hands froze. Emily's signature was at the bottom. "Thank you for always being there when I need you. Thank you for teaching me what real love looks like. I'm so grateful I found you. Love always, your Emily." I stood in that alley holding garbage in one hand and this card in the other, trying to understand why my only child was calling someone else mom. There was a photo tucked inside. Emily at a dining table I didn't recognize, laughing with an older woman who had her arm around my daughter's shoulders the exact way I used to. I looked up at Emily's fourth floor window. The lights were on. I'd just been up there 20 minutes ago, dropping off her favorite chicken casserole. She'd hugged me, told me I was a lifesaver, kissed my cheek. She'd never mentioned another mother. I raised her alone for 28 years, and somewhere along the way, she'd auditioned for a replacement. I pulled out my phone and scrolled through our texts. "Can't make Sunday dinner, sorry Mom," from 3 weeks ago. Something came up from last month. Rain check from the month before. Every cancellation suddenly felt like a lie. How many Sunday dinners had she missed with me because she was having them with someone else? Her father left when I was 6 months pregnant. Just walked out with a duffel bag and a note saying he wasn't ready. I was 23, working as a medical receptionist, with no family support because my parents had disowned me for getting pregnant before marriage. It was just me and this baby. I kept our apartment even though it was too expensive. I worked double shifts even when my body screamed. I ate cereal for dinner so Emily could have real meals. I wore the same winter coat for 11 years so she could have new school clothes. These aren't complaints. They're the foundation of a life I built brick by brick. And Emily was wonderful. Bright, funny, kind. We were a team against the world. Even after college, she chose an apartment 40 minutes away. "So, I can still see you all the time, Mom," she'd said. But over the past year, everything shifted. Phone calls became shorter. Weekend visits became monthly, then sporadic. She was busy, she said. Work was crazy, she said. I believed her, because what else would I believe? That card in the alley changed everything. I walked back to my car like a ghost, and did something I'd never done. I went through her social media, like a detective. It took 15 minutes to find her. The silver-haired woman, Catherine Westbrook. Westchester address, country club membership, 3 adult children. Her Facebook was public, full of charity galas and family vacations. And there, buried in photos from 4 months ago, was my daughter. Birthday celebration at Catherine's house. Emily blowing out candles on a cake I hadn't baked. Surrounded by strangers. Wearing a necklace I'd never seen. The comments made me sick. "So glad you found us, Emily," from Jennifer Westbrook. "Best addition to the family red heart," from David Westbrook. Catherine had commented, "Having you in our lives has been such a blessing." They were talking about my daughter, like a rescue puppy they'd adopted. I found more. Emily at the Westbrooks' summer house in the Hamptons. Emily at their Thanksgiving table. Emily on ski trips wearing gear she couldn't afford. They must have paid for everything. Then I found her private Instagram, the one she thought I didn't know about. A photo of Catherine hugging her. When your work friend's mom basically adopts you and fills all the holes you didn't know you had red heart 8 months ago. Another from a shopping trip. Having a real mom-daughter day hitting the boutiques. Is this what normal families feel like? 5 months ago. But the recent post destroyed me. A selfie of Emily and Catherine. She asks about my day and actually listens. She gives advice without judgment. She makes me feel like I'm enough exactly as I am. I never knew having a mother could feel this easy. This easy. As if raising her alone while working double shifts had been hard by choice. As if my exhaustion and penny pinching had been personality flaws instead of survival. I didn't confront Emily immediately. I needed to understand everything first. Over the next week, I pieced it together. 18 months ago, Emily met Jennifer Westbrook at a work conference. They became friends. Jennifer invited Emily to a family dinner. One dinner became regular invitations. Regular invitations became holidays. My daughter had slowly moved into another family, and I'd been downgraded to casserole delivery service. Then came the gut punch. I ran into my old neighbor Patricia at the grocery store. She mentioned seeing Emily at church every Sunday with that lovely family, the Westbrooks. Such devoted people. Church. My daughter, who'd rolled her eyes through every Christmas service, who declared herself agnostic at 16, was attending church every Sunday with her replacement family. I drove there the following Sunday, sat in my car across the street, and watched them arrive together. Catherine, her husband, their adult children, and my Emily, walking in like she'd always belonged. She wore a dress I'd never seen, carried a Bible I didn't know she owned. I watched through the windows for an hour. Watched Emily laugh with Catherine's husband. Watched her hug Jennifer like a sister. Watched Catherine fix Emily's hair with casual intimacy. Emily hadn't just found a replacement mother. She'd found a replacement life. 2 weeks after finding that card, I finally confronted her. She showed up at my apartment Thursday evening, and I couldn't pretend anymore. "Who's Catherine?" I asked. Emily's face went white, then red, then carefully neutral. "She's just a friend's mom." "Try again." "I've seen the photos, Emily. The posts. The birthday card." Her expression crumbled. "Mom, I can explain." "Explain what?" "That you've been living a double life? That you call another woman mom while making me feel crazy." "It's not like that." She was defensive, angry. "Catherine's been supportive, and her family welcomed me, and I didn't know how to tell you because I knew you'd make it weird." "Make it weird?" "You threw away a card calling her mom. You spend holidays with them. And I'm making it weird." She stood up, rigid with anger I'd never seen. "You want the truth? Do you really?" "Yes. Being with them is easy," she shouted. "They don't need anything from me. Catherine doesn't cry about being alone. She doesn't guilt-trip me about missing dinners. She doesn't make every conversation about her sacrifices. She just loves me without making me feel like I owe her my entire life." Each word was a bullet finding vital organs. I started. "You did, Mom. You do. Every conversation reminds me what you gave up, and I'm grateful, but I'm exhausted feeling like I can never pay that debt. With Catherine, I'm just myself. I'm not your entire reason for existing. I'm not responsible for justifying your sacrifices. I'm just Emily, and that's enough." She walked out, left me standing there, unable to breathe, unable to process that my daughter had been suffocating under my love for years, and I never noticed. The truth poisoned me slowly over the following weeks. Emily wasn't wrong. She was cruel, but she wasn't wrong. I had made her my entire identity. I'd built my life around being her mother, so completely I'd forgotten to be Margaret. Every conversation had been me reminding her I'd sacrificed everything. Every guilt trip, every comment about being alone, it was all true, but it was also a weight around her neck. Catherine could be a better mother because she wasn't desperately clinging. She didn't need Emily to justify her entire existence. I spent a month in therapy I couldn't afford. My therapist helped me see that I hadn't just raised Emily. I'd made her responsible for retroactively justifying every sacrifice, every struggle. I'd turned my love into an unpayable debt. "She didn't leave because you weren't enough," Dr. Patel said. "She left because you made her your everything, and being someone's everything is an impossible job." 3 months after our fight, I reached out, not with demands, but with an apology. We met at a coffee shop, neutral territory. "I'm sorry," I said before she could speak. "You were right. About all of it." We both cried. Talked for 3 hours, honest and raw. I told her I was building an identity separate from being her mother. Book club, volunteering, learning to be Margaret again. She said she couldn't give up the Westbrooks. They were family now. But she wanted me to, if I could accept that she needed both. It hurt. God, it hurt. But I agreed because the alternative was losing her completely. 6 months later, I met Catherine at Emily's birthday. Emily invited both families. Catherine was gracious and kind, and I hated that I couldn't hate her. We were two mothers loving the same girl differently. Maybe Emily needed both of us. I see Emily every other week now. I'm not her only mother anymore, and that stings. But I'm learning to love without suffocating. I'm learning that sacrifice doesn't earn devotion, that martyrdom is a motherhood. Last week, Emily brought 2 pottery class tickets. Thought we could do something just us, she said. Not as my mom making sacrifices, but just 2 people who love each other. I cried, but lighter tears this time. Sometimes the greatest gift we give people we love is freedom to love us back on their own terms, even when those terms break our hearts. If you've ever held someone so tight you hurt them, maybe you understand this pain. And if someone in your life needs space to breathe, maybe this story is your sign to let them. I gave Emily everything, but what she needed was space to choose me freely, not out of obligation. Sometimes that means accepting a bus pass to their new life and deciding whether to get on board or watch them right away. I'm learning to get on board. Some days are easier than others, some voices stay silent for years. But here, every story finds its sound. Like, subscribe, and stay with the silent parents.